guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer Battle Replay. So I'm playing as the Beastmen with some of the new regiments renown, and I'm playing another friendly match against Shadow Online Gaming. So just go check out his channel, there'll be a link in the description. And yeah, it's good fun this. Yeah, as you can see, front line of Ungor Herd, I went very cheap front line because I just wanted to have a lot more numbers in the front. And yeah, you know, if there was sort of, you know, great swords and things like that, I just pin them down with one, let them get butchered, and have the other ones move around, you know, take out anything else. I'm just going purely for numbers. And then, you know, a few sort of tougher units. So I've got Kazrak, great duelist, he's got some great abilities which really help him out. I've also got a Brave Shaman of the Wild, which I've never really brought before. Usually people bring it for the, you know, the Cygor summon. I didn't bring that. I just wanted to try out Devolve and, oh, what's that other spell? It's going to be really hard to get him, isn't it? No, there he is. Oh, come on. So I brought Traitorkin, which is really good, area of effect, ability, lowers speed, pretty good against cavalry, things like that. Devolve, good against larger units. It's big area of effect attack, so you can hit a lot of the front line with it. And it's pretty good. Also Vile Tide I brought as well, which is another sort of explosion, and it's quite cheap, so you can use it fairly often. So yeah, so I brought that stuff, so it should be good fun. Because yeah, like I say, I never bring it. I never bring the Law of Wild, so that's pretty interesting. Also, I got the Koroks Man Rippers, which are the massive anti-large Bestigor herd, which are just so tough. So brought these guys, obviously vulnerable to missile fire, but as long as I can get them stuck in nice and quickly, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I also brought some Razor Gores, which I never really bring actually. Yeah, but I brought Razor Gores, they're good fun. And, you know, good sort of shock damage, really good at just sort of messing up a formation. What else? Oh, obviously I've got the Butchers of Kalkengard, because, you know, they look like cows, and that's hilarious. So, so I got these guys, they regenerate, which is awesome. I love their shields as well, with the people on them, it's absolutely terrifying. Although that doesn't have a person on it. Some do, though, and some don't. But, yeah, they're very cool. I really like them. So, they look great. And, over here, another regiment round. The Sons of Goros, which the Centaurs are great weapons, and they got magic attacks, if we have a look. So you can see they got magic attacks, which is very cool, and really good armor piercing. And I got the Centaurs are great weapons for the armor piercing. So these two, both very quick, really good forces. So I'm going to speed things up a bit, because it's going to take a while to get into this fight. So, this little ambush here, classic Shadow Online Gaming approach. He'll always hide units vanguarded somewhere. So he's got these Outriders grenade launchers, which I don't find are particularly useful. I've as yet to found like a good use for them, but they can do a fair bit of damage, and they're just so cool, aren't they? Look at these guys, they're fantastic little grenade launchers. So over here you can see Balthazar Gelt here trying to spot any Vanguard units in the trees. I don't think I could have deployed over there, but he's being thorough because yeah, we do tend to troll each other a little bit in these fights. So here though, you can see already firing. We got a Great Cannon and the Hammer of the Witches. So the Hammer of the Witches, if you guys remember, it's got magic attacks, and yeah, they pack a massive punch. And because obviously they got the like triple gold chevrons, as do all regiments renowned. With artillery, that basically just makes them super accurate, which is something they don't actually show the stat for. But these guys can, you know, they can just snipe out anything. Really impressive. And he's also brought a couple of mortars. So this is his Nuln-themed army that he brought when we did the Shadow versus the YouTuber series that he invited me to be a part of. So here he's also got a frontliner swordsman. He's got some great swords, you know, sort of covering this side. He's got the silver bullets, so again, magic attacks, really good armor piercing, really good for taking out heroes or even, you know, just minotaurs and things, really solid. And another couple of units of handguns there. He's got 2 units of spearmen guarding the rear from cavalry. And obviously Gelt is just flying around. So I managed to split these two up, trying to evade the spell, but I don't entirely, which is a bit of a shame. Although, maybe I do actually. It's hard to tell. Because, yeah, they got the effect on them. I don't see anything happening to them, though. So maybe they got out of it. But here you can see the Butchers of Kalkengard have taken an absolute beating. Really good target to hit early. But you need to keep hitting them, because they will regenerate through it. And as you can see, they have no will to run away here. So, yeah, starting to get some more artillery here. Like, I'm taking some damage. But this is a hell of a lot of shock to hit into just a couple of units of swordsmen. So, yeah, he's going to need to back him up with something soon. So, yeah, here we go, terrified already. Pretty grim. I managed to get one unit around the outside, so like I said, I wanted to go for numbers. Just get, you know, as many in the front line as possible. So, Bombard comes down here. Doesn't actually do that much damage, though. It's a bit of a shame. It should do more damage, I think. So, here, great swords. You'd be surprised, actually, without any anti-large, they're not actually great against things like Centaurs, especially great weapons, because Centaurs are great weapons, great anti-armor, and they don't have any, you know, sort of, people tend to use them to take out cavalry, but frankly, they're just good against anything that's armoured. So, yeah, you surround a unit of great swords with a couple units of Centaurs are great weapons, and you're going to destroy them so quickly, as you've just seen there. So yeah, don't often see that though. People tend to use Centaurs for, you know, use them as more traditional cavalry, just take out, you know, either other cavalry or try and go for, you know, ranged units. But I find they're absolutely great for mopping up infantry as well. So that's good fun. So you can see the Outriser grenade launchers are firing to the back of my lines. So they managed to rout an Ungol Spearman herd. But frankly, I would have gone for something a bit more expensive, like the Korok's Man Rippers. But, you know, he's helped in this line, and now he's starting to go for them. So that's good. So, you can see here, though, the Spearmen are completely surrounded just by some cheap Spearmen and some cheap Ungol herd, so I'm happy with that. You know, I've got units to spare in this engagement, and I've already overrun and shattered most of his artillery. So they're broken, I think they're about to get shattered. So that's his artillery gone, and he really needed them to take out all my larger units. And unfortunately, with Balthazar Gelt as a lord, and, you know, without any other sort of, you know, Empire captains, anything like that, he doesn't have any heavy-hitting hero that can sort of snipe out my heroes. So Khazrak hasn't really had a problem throughout this battle. So that's a bit of a pity. But you can see I was able to wrap around some of my units and just get into all of his handgunners. So they weren't able to do a whole lot. And yeah, and that was it. And that's game. So yeah, it's a fun one. I do like sort of artillery, but they're just so difficult to capitalize on. I was chatting to Shadow after this battle, and I suggested a few things that might make this army a bit more worthwhile, although it might ruin the theme somewhat. It depends really, because this is supposed to be, you know, sort of themed around Nuln. So it's, you know, it's an artillery army. And he brought Balthazar Gelt because he's, you know, Law of Metal. It's all kind of, you know, it's all very thematic, which is cool. But if he'd brought something like Sigmar's Sons, they would have held up the front line a lot longer. The Tattersalls, you know, anything like that that's unbreakable. They can just hold the line for a long time. It just gives, you know, a chance for his artillery to fire more. He could even, you know, if he had the odd unit of flagellants, just literally just throw them at the enemy on their own before the fight begins. So, you know, main instinct would be just to clump up around them, try and take them out quickly, you know, while they're on their own. But of course they'd hold to the last man, and you'd be able to get loads of artillery fire on whatever units were committed to dealing with that. So, you know, there are interesting ways, I think, to capitalise on, you know, on your artillery. But yeah, it's just not very conventional, is the thing. You have to do really weird things to make artillery useful if you're bringing more than one piece. If it's just the Hammer of the Witches, you could just point that at, you know, some high-value target, knowing that it'll probably destroy the high-value target before you're done. And also, I realised I never actually moved my Razorgore herd in, did I? Yeah, I never once used them. They would have been great for that initial charge, actually. So, whoops. But it just goes to show that, you know, some of these units that have been added to the roster are fantastic. Unfortunately, it destroys the Drakwold. I just had sat in reserve, waiting for cavalry to come up behind me, basically. So they just got shot a lot while they were sat there. But yeah, I didn't mind too much. They had shields, so that was okay. But yeah, the Korok's Man Rippers did really well. The just Centaurs and great weapons did great. The Sons of Goros did good. You know, I got these all in the back line. Completely demolished the great swords with them. Yeah, you just do not want them sandwiched by Centaurs and great weapons. That armor piercing is just crazy. So yeah, the Regiment's Renown. Really liking the new ones with the Beastmen. And yeah, they came as a bit of a shock, I think. But yeah, so it was a fun one. But yeah, I really want to see, you know, artillery work for the Empire, because they just don't at the moment. They're just too expensive, I think, because they're too vulnerable. So you bring too many, you know, the amount of units you need to defend these is just insane. And of course, the more artillery you have, the less money you have on the things you need to defend them. So I think that's really unfortunate. That's something I'd like to see balanced, because I think they could just make artillery better and make it more of a threat. Then it would just be a case of trying to get to that artillery to shut it down. That would make more of an impact. Because as it stood in this one, I could have just ignored the mortars and the cannons right until the end. I could have just concentrated on destroying the rest of the army, which was much smaller because of all the artillery, letting them get some kills, but inevitably breaking the front line and just getting to them when I can. Because they're just not that devastating, which I find a bit of a pity. So yeah, I do want something to change for artillery. I don't know what they could do, but I think they should do something. But you never know. You know, some people have great success with artillery, but usually it's just the odd little sort of centerpiece piece of artillery used well, rather than a lot of artillery. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Let me know what you guys think about that. Because yeah, I find artillery is in a bit of a bad position in this game, with so many armies that have got such, you know, crazy maneuverability. So it makes it a bit unfortunate, I think. But against the dwarves it works quite well, I suppose. But other than that, everything's too quick. But, oh well. So, guys, enough rambling. If you enjoyed this video, please do comment, like, and subscribe. Be sure to check out Shadow Online Gaming's channel. The link will be in the description below. And, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.